Josef Venport carried his family's commercial legacy on his shoulders, rising in an age of fragile reconstruction. He navigated the aftermath of the Butlerian Jihad with a sharp mind and a fiercer will, seeking not merely to rebuild, but to reshape the imperium itself. Josef Venport is one of the central figures in the Great Schools of Dune trilogy by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. Spoiler warning, this video will explore details from Sisterhood of Dune, 2012, Mentats of Dune, 2014, and Navigators of Dune, 2016. If you have yet to read these novels and wish to experience them without spoilers, now is your chance to step away. 3, 2, 1, okay, let's dive in. Josef Venport rose to prominence in the aftermath of the Thinking Machine's defeat. He had inherited Venhold, the massive enterprise that distributed goods across the Imperium, and he ran it with a cool, calculating edge. His family's wealth stemmed from spice and careful investments on many worlds, and he believed technology was the path to a stronger humanity. The Butlerians, who destroyed old robots and shunned any machinery, provoked his ire. He called them barbarians and held them responsible for keeping civilization chained to the past. I am a generous man when my largesse is earned, but I see a difference between generosity to those who deserve it and charity to those who would take advantage of my wealth. He spent long hours locked in his private chambers on Arrakis, absorbed in ledgers and shipping reports. Sioba, his wife, compiled summaries and left him notes about their daughters, Sabine and Candice, who trained with the Bene Gesserit on Rossack. Josef read these updates with passing fondness. His main focus was on protecting Venhold's power, splitting off a cargo arm called Combined Mercantiles, founding banks on significant planets, and hiding profits from the fanatical Butlerians. He wanted no one to suspect how vast his reach truly was. Josef sealed himself in private quarters in Arrakis City, ate the food that was brought to him without noticing it, and pored over his business records. In a Landsraad meeting, Josef and Manfred Toronto clashed. Manfred railed against technology, insisting that machines corrupted the human spirit. Josef answered with calm logic, calling Manfred's crusade foolish. Returning to Kolhar, Josef learned of a black market ship linked to his rival, Aryan Gates of Celestial Transport. Incensed, Josef vowed to expose who dared infringe on Venhold territory. Later, he exchanged messages with his great-grandmother, Norma Tenva, creator of the Navigators. She guided him with her brilliance, though she often remained elusive. He maintained a hidden facility for developing navigators. Using concentrated melange gas, Josef's recruits endured transformations that allowed them to fold space safely. If the Butlerians knew, they would try to destroy all of it. His caution only hardened after meeting Dr. Orizoma, who pleaded for funds to build the Suk school. Josef agreed to pay, demanding the original genetic samples that had confirmed Vorian Atreides' identity. He always wanted useful resources, and bloodlines of legend intrigued him. He rescued a scientist named Nafi from Butlerian clutches and put him in charge of a top-secret lab on Denali, a remote planet beyond the Zealot's gaze. Nafi's first assignment? Study Vorian Atreides' genetics for future innovations. In the meantime, Josef discovered a spy lurking among Venhold's ranks, Royce Fayed, trying to uncover navigator secrets. Josef captured Fayed and tortured him for the location of a robot ship facility rumored to house hundreds of intact vessels. Fayed refused to divulge everything. Enraged, Josef decided on a grim twist: submerge Fayed in the melange tanks. To his surprise, the man adapted, becoming a navigator candidate who fascinated both Josef and Norma. Soon, Josef targeted the Thonaris machine shipyards after his mentat, Drago Roger, gleaned their coordinates. Argent Gates had designs on those shipyards, but Josef struck first, seizing the facility. Manfred Toronto arrived, branding Thonaris an abomination. Josef tried to broker a deal. Manfred, fueled by dogma, refused. The Butlerians blew up 3 automated factories, incensing Josef. In retaliation, Josef loaded 3 ships with explosives, disguised them as evacuation vessels, and sacrificed them to damage the Butlerian fleet. Though forced to retreat, he vowed never to yield. Beset by losses, he and Chioba put Venhold on high alert. He confided in Ptolemy, a scientist fleeing the Butlerians, about Denali's research base. Josef believed harnessing knowledge and technology was humanity's true salvation. Josef first appears in this novel aboard a Venhold cargo ship arriving at Barridge. He exerted absolute control over the Venhold spacing fleet, placing ruthless embargoes on worlds that embraced the Butlerian pledge. The planet's defenders tried to warn him off, but his shields proved stronger, and he destroyed their warship in a single brutal counterstroke. That set the tone for his dealings with any who challenged Venhold's authority. Success is a matter of definitions. What is victory? What is wealth? What is power? He taunted Deacon Califer on Barridge, pointing out the folly of trusting Butlerian zealots for protection. Then he discussed the growing threat with Chioba, Confessing frustration at Emperor Salvador Carino's weak stance, Joseph mused that Prince Roderick would be a more decisive ruler. Meanwhile, he received data from Drago that Arrakis spice yields were healthy. With 43% of the spice set aside for outside buyers, Venhold's profits surged. Joseph visited Norma Chenva, informing her of their haul, and admitted he'd been reading Erasmus's writings. The echoes of the ancient machine's studies disturbed him, but also gave him insight into controlling the Imperium. Fortifying his headquarters planet, Joseph prepared for conflict. At a Landsraad session, he announced Venhold's acquisition of Nalgan shipping and an exclusive alliance with combined mercantiles, effectively dominating interstellar travel and spice supply. Emperor Salvador protested, but Joseph brushed him aside. He considered the Carino throne mere window dressing if it failed to check the Butlerians. Joseph dispatched covert operatives to eliminate Manfred Toronto. He also ordered Drago to recruit new allies for their cause. When Butlerians attacked a Venhold site on Lectere, killing workers and navigator Royce Fayed, Joseph decided to strike back with unbridled force. He unveiled a new horror, Chimex, built from the brains of navigators who hadn't adapted properly. He sent them with Ptolemy to Lectere as punishment for the Butlerian assault. Reports falsely claimed Manfred was dead at the hands of a freeman. Joseph held fast to the hope that Toronto was gone. Soon, Emperor Salvador seized Arrakis spice operations, outraging Joseph. He followed the emperor to the desert planet, intending to sabotage him. When a Freeman operative refused the mission, Joseph personally rigged the emperor's ship to be devoured by a sandworm. Fleeing the disaster, Joseph returned to Salusa Secundus. He sought to manipulate the newly crowned emperor, Roderick Carino, but Roderick uncovered evidence of Joseph's plot. Before the emperor's guards could seize him, Norma Chenva folded space, spiriting Joseph away to safety. Joseph next demanded that Emperor Roderick crush the Butlerians. He wanted a figurehead emperor while Venhold expanded unchecked, holding a monopoly on safe fold space travel, employing secret navigators, and controlling the spice industry. Joseph believed he was the real power in the galaxy. He fortified Kolhar and prepared for all-out war if Roderick continued resisting his plans. He relied on Norma Chenva's wisdom, though her visions and powers gave her a perspective beyond his own mercantile ambitions. He stood confident that folks across the Imperium depended more on Venhold's goods than on the Emperor's decrees. Manfred Toronto preached that Joseph's use of Chimex proved he allied with thinking machines. Tensions rose higher. When Emperor Roderick froze all Venhold assets, Joseph realized his hand had been forced. He gathered a fleet of 300 ships to assault Salusa Secundus, planning to corner Roderick into a humiliating deal or overthrow him altogether. He reached Salusa with guns bristling, determined to neutralize Imperial forces without needless slaughter. Meeting Roderick face-to-face, Joseph presented himself as loyal to the Imperium, accusing the Emperor of destroying prosperity by seizing Venhold property. Their parley collapsed when a surprise Butlerian fleet arrived. Joseph withdrew, only to learn that the Venhold spice bank on Arrakis was under attack. Alarmed, he shifted his forces there but discovered the bank emptied. Furious, he blamed Roderick. Worse yet, the Emperor had captured a navigator named Dobrek. Joseph angled for allies among the sisterhood, hoping to strike a compromise. Then news came of a lost Escontran ship, bolstering his argument that only Venhold navigators could ensure safe travel. Receiving a report from Drago about the Chimex strike on Lampadas, Joseph raged that Toronto survived. Emperor Roderick's blockade squeezed his finances. In desperation, Joseph plotted a final assault on Lampadas, using a fresh wave of Chimex from Denali. He forced Ana Carino, the emperor's sister, to plead for peace on his behalf. Despite the brutality of his Lampadas attack, Admiral Hart's hidden forces blindsided him. Suffering losses, he retreated to Denali, resolved to rebuild. When Roderick located him there, Joseph saw no way out. He considered suicide rather than face trial. Yet Norma Chenva intervened, facilitating his transformation into a navigator, saving him from the Emperor but robbing him of his physical form and ambition. In the swirl of prescient orange gas, the once mighty director of Venhold drifted into a new existence. His story stood as a testament to the price of unrestrained power and how, in the end, even the strongest cannot outrun their fate. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons for more, and comment what you think of his story. Thanks again for watching.